Well, the first item of the day, I'm sitting there listening to the news this morning, and I got onto Facebook, and I'm going through my feed, and just as I come upon a Maine Wire report, a report came on our local news, WABI, and they're reporting the same thing, but from two different angles, of course. Maine Wire is conservative. WABI tends to lean to the left. Graham Platner, I don't know if it was yesterday or day before when he did it, but he was basically making an accusation that Sue Collins has been using her position, her seat of power, to enrich herself and her family by using the powers that she has. And all I could do was I checked out the Maine Wire report and then listened to WABI report the same thing. And it's amazing the contrast between both reports. They're both saying the same thing, that Graham Platner is accusing Sue Collins of doing something wrong and abusing the power that comes with the seat that she currently holds and is trying to win again this November. And the first thing that came to mind, when it comes to left-wingers, if they come out in front of the cameras, and especially if they're running in elections, and they're running against a right-wing opponent, 9 times out of 10, that left-winger, and in this particular case, it's Graham Platner, he's standing there and pointing his finger at Sue Collins, saying she's doing something wrong. Now, irregardless of what the wrong is, it doesn't matter. 9 times out of 10, from what I've found, in all the years that I've been following these kind of stories, it never fails. When a left-winger stands there and starts pointing their finger at someone else and saying they're doing something wrong, 9 times out of 10, that left-winger is doing exactly what they're accusing their opponent of. Now, I know the first thing you're probably going to think is, well, Graham Platner has never been in politics. He's not in a seat of power. And you are right. You are right. But look at what he's accusing her of. Stealing is basically what he's saying she's doing. And she's using the power that comes with that seat. As a senator, she uses that power to steal money from wherever she can get it, and then enrich herself and enrich her family. Okay? Well, I guarantee you, somewhere along the line, something's going to come out in the future. It might be tomorrow, next week, I don't know, next month. And I'm not saying this will happen. I'm just saying that the odds of this happening are quite high, because it always happens with left-wingers, especially the ones that are running in elections. They accuse their opponents of doing something that they're doing themselves. Now, Platner may not be in a seat of power and using that power to enrich himself and his family, but he's probably doing something equivalent to that. And again, this is my based on history. That's my theory. It could be wrong. If it is, I'll eat crow. I will. But I've got a funny feeling. And another Maine Wire report that I saw on Facebook, which was kind of interesting. One of the reporters, I can't remember his name, but he's, I think he said he was in maybe Ellsworth or maybe down in Sullivan. They've been down in that area because that's where Platner is from. And Platner had a supporter who was standing there alongside the road, and he was just holding a sign. And this Maine Wire reporter approaches him and he says, well, I see that you're protesting Sue Collins, how she's been taking money from billionaire donors, and you're saying that she needs to give that money back. It's not right for her to take money from extremely wealthy people. And the guy's been, yeah, that's right, she's in the wrong, she shouldn't be taking that money, la la la. She's going on and on. So then the Maine Wire reporter says to him, well, if using your logic here, the guy that you're supporting, Graham Platner, he's taken a lot of money from billionaires, especially George Soros. So, using that same logic, do you think Graham Platner should give that money back? And all of a sudden it was, oh, no, he's fine to accept it. And then, of course, the guy decides, well, my ride is here, I got to get going, see you later. And he didn't want to talk anymore. And the Maine Wire reporter said to him, well, before you go, I mean, I just want to get your opinion. Don't you think that's kind of hypocritical? You think that Sue Collins should be held to a certain standard, but when Graham Platner does the exact same thing, those standards can change because he's a Democrat, not a Republican. Democrats can take money from billionaires, but Republicans can't. Okay? And the guy says, yeah, well, I got to go. See you later. Bye-bye. He got into this car, and you see him drive off. And the Maine Wire reporter could only do the right thing and simply told the gentleman, have a nice day. The double standard, it's just unbelievable. It really is. It's unbelievable. I don't know. I don't know. And if a Republican had done that, can you imagine the field day that the mainstream media would have with that? But the Democrats do it every day, all day long. And they don't see the hypocrisy in it. They don't see it. They totally ignore it. I guess. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. But onward and upward, I guess. And I've got to say that this morning was quite interested in the news department all the way around. I got on to my Bongino report, because I usually check that out every morning. I watched CBS Morning News, and I guess there was a couple of things on there that was kind of interesting, but out of all of the media stuff that I checked out this morning on both sides, left and right-wing media, there really wasn't a whole heck of a lot going on in the news today. There really wasn't. There was that Graham Platner one that kind of stuck out. And I did see a report where his last name is Cassidy. A Senator Cassidy, I think his name was. I don't know much about the guy, but I do know that apparently there was this meeting that Trump went to the other day. You probably saw it on the news. And he went in and had a meeting with all of the senators, and he was basically trying to get them to understand that voting against Trump having powers doing what he's doing over there in Iran, voting against him being able to do that isn't the right thing to do right now. And he convinced the majority of them to about face and change their mind. Now they're voting with him instead of against him. And it's a good thing. And this particular Cassidy was making claim that he had an issue with what was going on, and he basically got into this heated back and forth with Trump. Okay? Now, this guy may sincerely have a beef, he may whatever, but I stand back and look at the bigger picture of what's going on. This Cassidy guy just lost an election, and the reason that he lost the election in the primaries was Trump supported the guy that was running against him. And this is what this heated confrontation was really all about for Cassidy. I mean, he was using whatever this issue he is to be able to just get mad at Trump and growl at him and get in a back and forth with him, and then come out of the meeting saying, well, I stood up to Trump. I really don't know what this guy is accomplishing in the long run. I don't see where he's accomplishing anything. Maybe he thinks it's going to help him when he tries to run in another election to win something, because he's a career politician and he just lost in the primary, which means he won't be able to run. And he'll have to wait until the next election cycle 2 years from now to run for anything. So he's probably thinking, well, if I've got, I stood up to Trump in my resume, you know, that might help me in the future. It'll be something that I can stand on. I mean, that's the only thing I can figure. It's that, and he was mad as all hell at Trump. And you know it. You know it. He lost this election, therefore he lost his seat, so he can't be a senator for 2 more years or longer. And see, that's the thing. A lot of these politicians that didn't get Trump's endorsement, they've lost their elections and they won't be able to run. So they've got at least 2 years before they can run again. And I think what's going to happen to a lot of them is, because they didn't get Trump's endorsement, their political careers probably are done. I don't know if this rule is going to apply to each and every one of them, but I can tell you right now, you don't get Trump's approval, you don't get his endorsement, you might as well be done or join the Democrat Party. And this guy, this Cassidy guy, from what I can see, what his argument was with Trump over what's going on in Iran. I don't know what the details were of what they discussed, but Trump is trying to do the right thing. Now, is he doing it the right way? That's a completely different conversation. That's a totally different conversation. But what he's trying to do over there is, one, make it so Iran can't be the bullies that they have been for the last 45, 50 years over there, number one. Number two, for America to get control of that Strait of Hormuz so that Iran can't use that to get the world to bend to their wants, needs, and desires. Those two things right there, if he has right now, while he's president, he has accomplished this. He has basically, I can't think of a better phrase, but he has cut their nuts off over there as far as their power. They don't have none. They have zero power. And that Strait of Hormuz, we've got our military there, and we are more than likely, while President Trump is in office, that military will be staying right there and making sure that millions of barrels of oil are going to be coming through there on a regular schedule, and there will be no interruptions. Iran will not be interrupting it. No one will be interrupting it. And this is a huge, huge positive for the entire world, let alone just us here in America. It's for the world. So what Trump has done is a good thing. Now, the way he went about it, again, like I said, is a completely different conversation. And I'm willing to listen to anybody who can say, well, he did this wrong and he did that wrong. I'm more than willing to listen to it and even take it into consideration. But the ultimate end is he's done a good thing. Well, okay, that kind of wraps up today's video. It's Friday, so it'll probably be Monday before I get the next video up. If something should happen, when I go into my errands tomorrow morning, I may make a video then and post it tomorrow. But if not, we'll be back on Monday. Okay, you have a good weekend. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's have some fun and have good conversation. Okay, have a good weekend.
We're going.